What's up, guys? So today's video is how to find and buy an AE86. If you've seen my other videos, you know I have one, and I spent about a year and a half of searching for just any of them that were within my budget. And I know a lot of people have questions on like, how do I buy an 86? How do I find one? What are the steps? And this is pretty much like a good thing for you to watch to kind of figure it out. So the first thing is you need to figure out your budget. Right now in California where I live, I'll break it down. A GTS hatch costs about anywhere from 9 grand to like 13 grand. And then I've seen some go for 15 grand, which is absolutely stupid. So about 10 grand is what you're going to spend on a GTS hatch. A SR5 hatch can run you anywhere from 6 grand to about 9 grand. A GTS coupe is all kinds of crazy ones. Right now for sale, there's one that's 5 grand, and I've seen some go for 6, 7, 8, 9 grand. So about the price of an SR5 hatch, generally. And then for an SR5 coupe, I've seen them go from 1 grand to 5 grand. So pretty much GTS is going to bump up the price, hatch is going to bump up the price, SR5 is going to lower it, and coupe is going to lower it. So that's about the budget generally in the area. Now, there's 3 major ways to find an AE86. One is OfferUp. I say OfferUp is one of the best places. You put in your zip code, you put AE86, and you put the alert me anytime someone puts one up for sale. Then you also do it for area codes outside, generally a 200-mile radius is what you want to do. Farther if you're going to drive farther, but 200 miles is about generally a good amount of space to travel. 300, all right, 300's all right. So you put OfferUp and you just put AE86, but you also want to put 1984 Corolla, 1985 Corolla, 1986 Corolla, and 1987 Corolla, because lots of people will put that instead of AE86. It just really depends. So you want to cover all your bases. So make sure you have a search alert for all of those in all the different zip codes. So it'll tell you anytime someone pops one up. Second thing is go to the Facebook Marketplace and check in your area. Also check in other areas around you. So you check your Facebook Marketplace, you put AE86, and you kind of click around and go wherever you can. The third one is you go to Facebook and you look up Facebook groups, AE86. I live in Southern California, so AE86 SoCal, AE86 California, AE86 whatever state you're in, whatever city you're in, and you're going to find some kind of group. Now you go into that group and you say, hi, I'm looking for GTS hatch, SR5 hatch, and AE86. Here is my budget. You always want to put your budget, your location, and what you're looking for. Otherwise, they're going to make fun of you, and they're just going to, they're going to make fun of you. You put location, your budget, what you're looking for, how far you're willing to drive. And then, generally some people will say, I got this for sale, I got that for sale. Once you're in the Facebook group, though, to also just look around the Facebook group. Just search in the title bar, AE86 for sale. Like, just scroll down the things that are for sale, and someone will have one for sale. What I've noticed is a lot of, like, the old-timers, I see put their 86s on the Facebook groups, but they don't put them on OfferUp or Craigslist. And I think it's because they're kind of old, and Facebook is for old people. And that's just how it works. Now, you can also go to Craigslist. Now, Craigslist has done a thing where you have to pay $5, I believe, to post a car listing. But some people still post it. So check up Craigslist. What you do is you want to search AE86, you want to search 1985 Corolla, you want to do all those search tags, right? Then you click go within 200 miles of this zip code, and you keep doing the process that you did for the other ones. You search around in a 200-300 mile radius, because there's some dude out in the middle of the nowhere with an AE86, all right? And a lot of people that like have come up to me and asked me, how do I get an 86, haven't looked that far. They look in their little 40 miles around where they live. You have to look far. So you want to cover all your bases. Now what you want to do is you want to search in the morning, you want to search in the afternoon, and you want to search at night. So here's the thing. Old people like to get up in the morning. So they will post it at 7 in the morning and say first come, first serve. And if someone puts one up for $5,000 at 7 in the morning, you bet your ass it's going to be gone by 8:30. What happened to me is I was spending the night with a friend, and in the morning I got a notification. It was 7 in the morning. I woke up. I was like, hey, sorry, I have to leave. There's an AE86 for sale for $5,000 GTS. And I just and I went and I picked it up. And so the point is you have to be ready at a moment's notice to pick up that good sale, because someone else will grab it for sure. So yeah, so you have to check morning, noon, and night. I checked every day for like a year and a half, morning, noon, and night. And eventually you'll find something. So Facebook, Craigslist, OfferUp, Facebook groups. Another one you want to do is check in your local area for 86 Car Meets. You want to kind of become friends with the other 86 guys. So someone pulls up in an 86 and you start, you ask them questions. Be like, oh, like, just ask them like, hey, what do you got? What have you done to it? Tell me about your car. The 86 guys love to talk about their car. And they'll be like, yeah, it's nothing. It's just a piece of junk Corolla. It's whatever. But they're really like, oh man, someone likes my car. This is awesome. So you ask them, you start making friends with the other 86 guys. They're generally really nice. It's a small community. Everyone kind of knows each other. So you make friends with one of them and you say, hey, I'm kind of interested in getting an AE86 myself. Can you tell me a little bit about it? And they'll tell you about it, and you say, do you happen to know anybody that's selling them? And chances are they'll know someone who's kind of on the fence about selling it. The thing about 86 guys is a lot of them are like, a lot of people get it and then realize it's too much work for what they thought it was going to be, and then they want to sell it, but they keep it, but they want to sell it. And if the right kind of situation comes along, they'll sell it. I know a lot of guys would never sell it in a million years, but there's quite a few of them that will sell it for the right price. And there's a lot of kids ages like 17 to like 25 who get into it, and then they hit a major problem and they're like, oh man, this is too much work. So ask around in the 86 community and just go to local car meets, because chances are you might find someone with an AE86. So that's generally how you find one, and those are kind of what you want to do. Yeah, the Facebook groups are really important though. The Facebook groups will basically have every piece of information that you need. You ask someone, hey, what do I do about this? And there's going to be like 7 boomers saying, well, what you got to do is blah, 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 blah. Here's an image link. Here's a thing. And you'll have like 3 like millennials making jokes like, heh, this kid is just learning how to wrench on his shit box, And then you'll have like a Zoomer who's asking like, yeah, I have the same problem. So ask on the forums. Ask and you shall receive. That's basically how it is. If you ask for help, you will get help, all right? So that's basically how you find one. Now, some things you may want to look for when you buy an AE86 is rust. You want to check about rust, because rust is going to make or break that car. You want to check and see if it's SR5 or GTS. I recommend you don't buy an SR5. I recommend you hold out for a good deal on a GTS, because getting an SR5 means that you're going to have drum brakes in the rear, you're going to have the carbureted 4AC engine, which sucks. You're going to have a lot of, it's probably going to be automatic. There's a lot of automatics out there because they're the ones that haven't been destroyed. I would say hold out for a GTS. You're going to spend so much money trying to change SR5 to GTS, and you're going to waste so much time that you might as well just start out. You might as well pay 2-3 extra grand and have a GTS, because you're going to have to deal with finding the parts, getting like nice parts, putting it in, dealing with all that shit. So just, in my opinion, don't buy an SR5 unless you're a dirty like weeaboo and you just want, I just want Takumi's car. Then buy an SR5, because you just want Takumi's car. You want an AE86. It doesn't matter that it's a 4AC. You want an AE86. So go buy an SR5. But I recommend you hold out for a GTS. It's better in the long run. And generally what I find is GTSs have been more well taken care of. I find that like the people who buy SR5s tend to be people with a lower budget who tend to be younger kids. Like kids, I mean ages 18 to 25. They tend to be on the younger side, don't really know a lot about it. They thrash the car, it gets pretty messed up. But also SR5s are also the ones that no one wanted, so some of them are really clean. But you're generally going to find SR5s up for sale. Generally, you're going to find those more than GTSs, but you'll be surprised. If you keep an eye out, a good deal comes along every once in a while. You may have to wait 1 or 2 years, but that gives you a chance to really research the car, find out what you're like, what you want out of it, if you really want it. What else to look forward to? It's just the general things when looking at a car, like how janky is it? How disgusting does it look? I mean, like wiring wise, like does it look like 7 different people worked on this car and no one had a clue what was going on? Is there like stuff cut out of it? You really want to see how messed up the car is. You want a nicer car, all right? Don't settle for less. You deserve a nice car. I can't really think of anything else that you should really look out for. That's how to find one, and how to buy one. Generally, yeah, you don't want to pay more than 11 grand for one because they're not worth 11 grand. Like, absolutely not worth that much. So this is basically a quick video. If you have any questions, post a comment and I will totally get back to you. I have no life in this quarantine and I have nothing better to do. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is I've only owned it for 2 years, the AE86, and I'm a 22-year-old kid. I don't really know that much about stuff, but this is just my observations and my way on how you get it. Other than that, I mean, also check your local, car buying sites. This is strictly like, I'm speaking strictly as a California person, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. How does my background look? You can see all the nasty stuff in my background. Jeans. But yeah, any questions you have, I'll answer them. If you're in the Southern California area, or in like the middle of California, if you're around LA, San Diego, I'm in LA, you can totally hit me up on Instagram. It's the same name as my YouTube channel. You can hit me up here. I go to like some of the car meets around. You can say like, hey, is there an AE86 car meet in California? I'll go there. You can come and see my pink 86 and we can like talk about 86s and I can kind of show you mine and show you what I hate about it, what I like about it. And I'm also going to do a video on what I hate and what I like about it. So here was just a simple, like, here's how you buy an AE86. So I'll see you guys later.